And my sound was off. Okay. So suppose $100 is invested at 7% nominal rate, compounded annually. So there's jargon in there. There's this phrase, nominal rate, and I'll show you what that means through the calculations that I do. The thing to notice is that that's not APR. You hear about APR financing, like the annual percentage rate, and that's a slightly different thing from nominal rate. And instead of trying to tell you what nominal rate is in a definition, I'm going to show you with the calculation, and you'll see what this is, and then you'll wonder what that is, and we'll come to that later. Okay. And so, the approach I'm going to take is I'm going to work this one example with specific numbers, not variables. But then I'll generalize from that and say, well, what if it was not $100? What if the number of dollars was just P, some number, you know? And so I'll replace the numbers with letters so then we can make a general formula. And the advantage to having a general formula is just that you can do algebra with it. And if you've got a formula for one variable, but you wanted a different one, you can rearrange it. Okay. So some vocabulary, the principal. In this story is the $100. And that's the initial amount invested. Okay. And so I'm going to make this table. With the year and the amount. So if my year, I'll use the letter T for the years, and the amount in year T. So you put in the $100, and then after 0 years have passed, like the next moment, right after you put the money in year 0, the amount in year 0 is your principal, your $100. And so I don't have to keep writing the dollar sign over and over. Up here in the heading of the column, I'll put the units of measurement. So the amount in year 0 is 100. Okay. And then in year 1, the amount in year 1 is I'm going to take my $100 and I'm going to add the 7% of $100 because 7% is my nominal rate. And, you know, so I have $107, but I don't want to just write 107 because I want to try to demonstrate the pattern here. You notice what I have here, it's $100 times 1, at the end of the year, I still have what I started with, plus $100 times the 0.07. Okay. So anyway, so that's my $107. Now, when I come to the next year, what happens with the compound interest is you take that 107 that you have at the beginning of the second year, and that's your new principal. So you're going to get the 107 times 1 plus 0.07. So you're going to have what you have up here, 100 times 1 plus 0.07. That's your $107, but then you're going to multiply times 1.07 again, so that you're not just earning interest on the original 100, you're earning interest on the 100 and the interest that you earned in the previous year. You're earning interest on your interest. And so that's the difference between compound and simple interest. If there was simple interest, you'd just be earning the $7 every year. But this way you earn a little bit more each year. And so it goes, you come down to the third year, and you take what you've got at this step, and you multiply by 1.07 again. So after whatever number of years, t, the number of years, you'll have multiplied by 1.07 t number of times. If t is the number of years, that's the number of times you've multiplied the 1.07 over and over again. So it looks like the amount at time t is going to be your original $100. That's your principal, P, and you're taking that principal and you're multiplying times 1 plus, and the 7% we were using, that's the nominal rate. I'm going to call it R. And then I'm multiplying by that 1.07 repeatedly. Multiply once every year. And so I've multiplied t times. So there, for annual compounding. So the A of t here is the amount that you have in year t, and t is the time in years. And in this story, it was set up, we were compounding once a year. Okay. Now let's see. I think I'm gonna, in a minute, I want to go on and I want to do, well, what if we don't compound once a year? What if we compound, once a quarter, 4 times a year, or maybe we do it monthly or daily or something? We'll do that problem in just a minute, because you may be looking at this formula and saying, hey, that's not the one in the book in chapter 11, because they talk about how many times per year do you compound. So we'll come to that in just a minute. I think right now I want to put up a spreadsheet and kind of show you how this grows and how to use the spreadsheet a little bit also. So let's see. Change the view here. Okay. So here's my time, T. Here's the amount. Make a little formula here to add 1 to the years, and then I can just drag it. The way the formula works is it takes your nearest neighbor right above, in this case it's B4, but take your nearest neighbor and add 1, and so if I drag down, see, it'll just keep replicating that formula. Take the guy before and add 1. And I'll put in my $100 here, and then I want to do equals my $100 times 1 plus the interest rate. And in my interest rate up here, I need to put 0.07. Okay. And in Excel, use an asterisk to make the multiplication. So there we go. And then using the little dollar sign here so that when I copy and paste, see, it won't adjust the position. It says that it means the absolute position E2. And so when you copy and paste, just keep the E2 constant. Don't adjust the relative position. That's what the dollar sign does for you. It changes the way that the copy and paste behavior works. All right. So now if I copy and paste, see, it moved the C5 down to C6. It's going by relative position for the C6, but it's going by absolute position for the E2. Now, so if I copy and paste again, it's going to change to C7, but the E2 will stay the same. So I go copy and paste, and now the C6 changed into a C7, but the E2 stayed fixed. And these are amounts of money, so I want to round off the display. And just like a bank, they'll keep all the digits in their calculations, but they round off when they show it to you, or if they ever have to give you actual money, they round off. But along the way, they'll keep the fractions. So for my display here, I can change the number of digits that I show. All right. And I would put in the dollar sign, except don't want to do that because I already put dollars up at in the heading, so I don't have to say dollars. Okay. And so now I can just drag on down. And you know, the further we go out, you notice when by the time you get to 10 years, it's just about doubled. And you can use that. That's a handy thing to know. You can use that to do estimates. What do they call this? There's a name for this thing. Rule of 70, I think it is, or rule of sevens, something like that. But here's the thing. After well, let me write it down. If R is the interest rate, okay, and for example, like R equals 0.07, okay, or that's 7%. Okay. Work out 70 divided by 100 times R. Okay. So in this case, that's 70 divided by 7. 10, okay. So this gives you roughly how long it takes for your money to double. So we put in $100, and it took about 10 years. After 10 years, we got about $200. I mean, there's a more exact, fancier calculation with logarithms, but you know, this works pretty well. You can do it fast, and you don't have to learn intermediate algebra. So, so that's it. And you notice I didn't even use my formula over here with the spreadsheet, because with the spreadsheet, what I did was I got each number using the row immediately before. I just multiplied times 1.07. But just as a check, you know, if I took my $100 and I multiplied it times 1 plus my 0.07 to the 10th, you know, I should get the same thing, and I do. Fix the rounding. Okay. So that pretty much does it for annual compounding. Oh, but you can play with things to, you know, get a feeling for how this works. Like if you had 10% interest, then it should only take 7 years to double. You see, here we are at 7 years. We're just about up to $200, just almost. Okay. Or you put it in a mutual fund that in a good year grows by, 20%, and in a bad year, maybe you lose most of your money. And then if it's 2020, things are just strange. It goes way down and comes back up. I don't know. So anyway, so if you're getting like 20% interest, then you double in 4 years, right? So that's the annual compounding thing. And I think I will stop the video and make a separate video for now. What if I compound 4 times a year or more? Should that be a separate video? Well, maybe we'll just keep going. How long has it been? Well, it's been a long time. Okay, new video.